My name is Kassou. I am the Accreditation Manager at the Standards Council of Canada, which is the Canada National Accreditation Body. I am the co-convener of the working group, Digitalization. I'm working with my lovely co-convener, Sharonda.
Thanks, Abdel. Hi everyone, I'm Sharonda. I represent TIA Quest Forum here at the IAF, and again, co-convener of the working group Digitalization, also known as the working group Digital. We had our first meeting today.
Great.
Actually, no. This was our first in-person meeting, which also consisted of attendees that participated remotely as well. This is actually our second meeting.
Exactly. It all started when the pandemic hit in 2020, and then we created this task force to address remote audit and remote assessment, and recently it was moved as a permanent working group.
And we were just discussing our terms of reference today for this working group. It's interesting because as a working group, typically you think about what have you been doing? We're thinking about what we would like to do. And so our working group, we're about embracing new technology, digitalization, data use. We want to serve as a foresight group as it relates to technology. We want to ensure accreditation and conformity assessment that we continue to develop at the right pace based on future developments. Now, as a part of talking about the future, we have to talk about the past, though. So with regard to our work, a lot of the work that we discussed today, it continued on from when we were the task force for remote audit and remote assessment.
Exactly. There was a number of IAF documents that were updated to actually address the remote audit and remote assessment, and now we're looking forward for future documents and updates.
Yeah, so today we talked about the continued update of MD1, IAF MD1, IAF MD8, IAF MD9, and IAF 23. Now, those are a lot of existing IAF documents that are available to the public, as everyone all knows. The revisions that we were proposing with regard to these, we'll be moving them to ballot shortly, but they are limited revisions specifically to focus on the concept of remote audit and remote assessment. So we're really looking at changing the language from on-site to language such as on-site, remote, or a combination of methods and techniques.
And soon we'll be looking into the two famous documents that we used during the pandemic, MD4, IAF MD4, and IAF ID3. And we're having some suggestions to improve these documents as well.
So we had a very robust discussion as it relates to especially the ID3 document. Again, that's the extraordinary events document. So that was a document that was very much utilized during the pandemic along with MD4. So stay tuned with regard to updates as it relates to those two documents. It was a very robust, and I'll use rich, discussion as it relates to those two documents. So stay tuned there. We also looked at some forward-thinking concepts. We had an update as it relates to our relationship with ISO Kassou, Working Group 61. They are in the process of drafting a document, a guidance document, on the remote audit. And then we had a forward-thinking discussion with regard to the concept of virtual sites and the fact that we have remote employees, and how do we handle those with regard to conformity assessment. And that led to some interesting conversation with regard to some future concepts as well.
Exactly.
So as we wrapped up our work group today, we want to just make sure that everybody is aware of the fact that the IAF, we are about confidence, and we've been here. We've been celebrating for a while with regard to the fact that we've been here 30 years, folks. So let's celebrate, let's recognize that 30 years, let's recognize the fact that we've done a lot of wonderful work, and we look forward to continuing to do a lot of wonderful work, especially recognizing that we're embracing new technology. So congratulations, IAF. Here's to 30 more wonderful years.